Yo, so you've been asking me, yo, what does your practice time look like? I wanted to kind of give you a different feel today. Not my typical video, but I wanted to kind of take you behind the scenes of what I do. So typically I start out by trying to find a drum loop. So I found a drum loop. The BPMs is about 80 beats per measure. So I just put on the loop. So I want to create my own vibes. And what I'm doing is I want to create me playing a simple, like if I'm doing things as if I was playing like in production. I also want to do things that are going to help me work on my timing. I want to do things that are going to help me work on just the overall like picture for me as a guitar player. It's really important for me to understand what that looks like in a real-time situation, because the more if I practice the way that I want to play, then I'm going to play the way that I've always been practicing, right? So it's the concept of you want to play on the field the same way that you practice. If you practice kind of lackadaisical, then your playing on the field will be like lackadaisical. So I want to make sure I'm focusing specifically on grabbing that stuff intentionally, right? So I find a drum loop, I'm listening to the beat, I'm trying to see what inspired me, so I'll grab my guitar and we're just gonna go to work, right? Just want to find an idea that fits good, and then once I find an idea that I like, then I'm gonna lay it down, right? All right, so I like that vibe, so let's just go ahead and let's just lay it down. All right, so I'm gonna take it back. Let's go ahead and record. So I'll record 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I want to stop. I'm gonna go back and make sure that I didn't record too hot. If I did, then I just have to like adjust my volume, all right? I'll put on a loop. So then I had that idea down, and so I'm like, okay, let me lay a bass line. Because I want to work on my production as well. This is the whole thing. It's like, for me, it's just all about working, using my practice time to work on things that I would normally work on. So I still do production, I still teach, I still play out live. So this all works encompassing. So now I'm gonna grab my bass, make sure I tune up, because now we want to work on laying a bass line, right? That makes sure everything feels right? Because we're always constantly using our practice time in order to get us better. I don't want to just play for the sake of playing. I want to practice just to say, oh, I practice just to check the box. Now, if that's what you're doing, that's okay for you. But if you're trying to be intentional and really ensure that you're getting somewhere and doing this is a great way to do it, because it forces you to use the tools that you've been working on this whole entire time, right? So now we got to find the bass line. Let's try that. All right, so that sounds good. So now let's just record it. Let's get it on wax. Again, I'm always using my practice time in order to ensure that I'm going to create something that's going to help me work on my overall playing ability. So in my production, this is working on my production, but this is also a creative space where I can get out creative ideas, work on vibes, because the next thing I'll probably do is lay another guitar layer and then solo on top of it. That's where I'm having all the elements of my playing, and my practice time is being creative, being intentional, using things that I'm going to use on a daily basis. That's the main thing for me that I want to always try to incorporate. guitar part. And again, this is just practice stuff, so you don't have to be so on top of everything. Just you want to make sure that you're trying to be as intentional as possible, but you want to find stuff that's going to definitely help you in your playing. So as I'm working through the guitar parts, I may just solo the one guitar part so I can make sure I'm playing something that's accompanying with what I'm playing. All right, so let's get that on wax. All right, I like how that feels, like how that sounds. Let's get that on wax. All right, cool. So now we got that down. Let's put that on a loop. And what we want to do now is we want to work on our soloing technique. Again, while we're practicing, we don't have to focus on trying to be so studio perfect, but it's just allowing me to get the idea out, work on my timing, work on what it would be like if I had to play secondary guitar parts, if I was doing production, work on if I was playing bass, if I had to just work on my own tracks and kind of shoot them out, or if I was just working on my soloing techniques. There's so much gold that's in this kind of practice. You can do the same thing on whatever DAWs that you have. Use the same thing, create a loop. Work it out so that you're not trying to look for things, but you're creating these ideas in your mind, so that way you're developing your own brain and figuring out chord progressions that sound good. Remember, when you're laying guitar parts, less is more. Make a sandwich. Don't try to figure everything in the first couple takes and try to do whatever. Break them up in pieces. If you do it in pieces, it's going to make a lot of sense and make your overall playing really kind of cool. Hi there, it's Kerry. Thank you so much for watching this video. There's so much great content on this channel that's really going to help you unlock the fretboard and play the way that you always wanted to play. So go ahead, click the subscription button and that notification bell over there, so that way you're always getting the awesome videos and the content that I drop at least once a week. Thank you so much for watching and keep on practicing. I'll see you soon.